Welcome to Pikes Peak International Raceway, a regular fixture on the series calendar since the track opened in 1997. Called a tri-oval, Pikes Peak is really more of a D shape, with the front straightaway actually being one big corner. This front straightaway has a bank of 7 degrees, leading into 10-degree corners and 3-degree banking on the back straightaway. This makes for fast racing on the track, but with a length of 1 mile, it also means that there is going to be a lot of lap traffic to deal with. Because of this, the cars run the high downforce, short oval wing configuration. Finally, you will also have to contend with the circuit's unique environment. At more than a mile above sea level, the air is quite thin up here, which means you're going to lose about 600 pounds of downforce and about 100 horsepower. And it's also going to make slipstreaming less effective, so keep this in mind when on the track.
So thanks for that introduction, Bob Jenkins. Welcome to IndyCar Series 2005, the career mode that I'm running in IndyCar Series 2005. Scott Dixon is the points leader after the Indianapolis 500, or not after the Indianapolis 500. Where have I been? After Texas and the Indianapolis 500. Tony Kanaan is second, Sam Hornish Jr. is third, and we are sitting 10th in the points, but we're 100 points behind Dixon. So we really need to get on it here over the next few races and really start scoring some points if we want a shot at the season championship. And then just going down through the rest of the field to take a look at everybody else who has participated thus far. 34 cars have scored points in the championship. Robbie McGee is the last car. So, as you heard, we are racing at Pikes Peak, which is appropriate because Pikes Peak is virtually the same track as Iowa Speedway. Maybe just a little bit longer, maybe just a little bit less banking, but very, very similar. And of course, the real Indy cars at the time I am recording this are actually racing at Iowa Speedway. So this is going to be a very appropriate video. I love the short oval racing. I think we've got a real good shot here at Pikes Peak. So let's get qualified and put our car in the race at Pikes Peak. So Hornish has gone out. Castroneves is now on the pole, and it looks like Castroneves is going to be the one we need to beat. He's sitting at 182 miles an hour. Can we beat it? Let's find out. Okay, so as usual, fuel all the way down, as low as we can get it because it's only a 2-lap qualifying effort. I'm not going to mess with the front wing, and we're just going to go for it here. I've got a pretty good setup for this track as far as I'm aware. We should be able to beat Castroneves fairly easily here, I would think. I think we're in a really good position to get the pole position, but we'll see. So we shift up on the back straightaway. As you can see, a very similar track to Iowa. It just seems maybe it's a bit wider. I don't know the exact measurements. I know Iowa Speedway is 7/8 of a mile. This could be similar to it, or it could not be. So here we go, finishing up the warm-up lap down the back straightaway. Bit of a bump there as you get off of turn 2 and onto the back straightaway as the banking kind of falls away onto the straight. So 184 on the warm-up. That is well good enough by 2 miles an hour to take the pole position. And right now I've just pretty much got to put the car, hit my marks, and I think we should be in a really good position at least to take the pole from Castroneves. It's possible that cars behind will go faster. So 186, that's 4 miles an hour to the good. I'm still running way too high in the corners, and I'm losing a little bit of speed. I really should be about 190 the whole way around. And we'll run real low here to finish up the lap, and I got to push, so that's not going to help. Probably going to go slower on this lap, and indeed I did, but I think we're still going to have the pole.
That run should be good enough for the pole.
And indeed, we take the pole position, and I think we are well clear. Well, Tony Kanaan did a 183, but we're still 3 miles an hour faster than Tony Kanaan was able to achieve. So let's take a look at the starting lineup for today's race at Pikes Peak and get this thing started. So on the pole position is me. Alongside is Tony Kanaan in the 7-Eleven car. Elio Castroneves and Tora Takagi, the winner of Japan, is in row 2. Joe LaFerrin on the inside and Felipe Giafoni on the outside of row 3. Row 4, Kenny Breck and Dario Franchitti. Good qualifying effort for him. The points leader, Scott Dixon and Thomas Schechter, the target teammates, are on row 5. Row 6 is Dan Weldon alongside Scott Sharp. Row 7, Robbie Buell. And on the outside is Buddy Rice in the Red Bull car. Roger Yasukawa and Greg Ray are in row 8. Row 9, Sam Hornish Jr., bad qualifying effort for him, and Buddy Wazier, our Lord and Savior, on the outside. Row number something, Alistair Jr. and Brian Herta, then AJ Foyt IV and Sarah Fisher. Then it's Alex Barron and Eddie Carpenter, and in the final row, bringing up the field, is Vitor Mira, driving for Team Menard. So, here we go. Ready to race at Pikes Peak International. This track still exists in real life. However, it has not had a true racing event since ISC, aka NASCAR, bought it. They actually, when they bought the track, mandated that no one can run a big event at it ever again. Don't you just love ISC? Great company. But anyway, we are racing, and we are out in front of the field at the moment. There's TK looking to the inside. You know he's fast at these kind of tracks. He won at Iowa Speedway, I think in 2009 it was. So you know he can make these little short bull rings go very well for him. He's actually to the inside, and it may be TK that's going to sneak through for the lead. And it is indeed Kanaan taking the lead from me. I'm kind of surprised at that. But the car is understeering very badly, so I'm going to add some weight jacker to the front. Try to rectify that situation, and indeed, as soon as the weight jacker was added, feels like the car feels much better now. So I kind of wish I'd been able to pull out a bit of a lead, but it is what it is. Takagi is now behind me. So it's a race between myself, Kanaan, and Takagi. And I don't really need to be on the apron. I got just a little bit on the apron, had to back out of it. Maybe if we run a little bit higher in the groove, that seems okay. We're only running 183 miles an hour, and I'm not using the fuel mixture just yet. I kind of want to save a little bit of fuel for the first and only pit stop, hopefully, of the race. So here we go. Good run on Kanaan. To the outside, we're going to go. Can't quite get to clear him there. Don't necessarily want to go side by side. Only 5 laps into the race. Okay, we're going to go to the inside. Don't know if we're going to be able to pull this one off. And we did. We cleared Kanaan. Wow, I'm kind of surprised we cleared him. But we were able to clear Kanaan, but he's looking to the inside once again. You can see him in the mirrors there. He's just to the inside. And he's right there. I'm going to chop down in front of him, take a little bit of air off the front wing there. 56 lap race. A little bit longer than your typical short oval race because of the fact that this track is so small and so fast. It actually works to our benefit that you actually have less downforce on this track. As you heard Bob Jenkins mention in the intro, I like running ovals with less downforce. That's kind of what I like to do. That's why I was struggled at Texas, because you're mandated by the rules to run so much downforce at Texas to keep the speeds down that it actually makes the car fairly uncomfortable to drive, just feels slow. This does not. It feels like it's got the proper amount of downforce for the track. As you heard, we just set our best lap of the race, and we're starting to pull away from Kanaan, and that's very good. Now, the thing is, the faster we run, the quicker we're going to hit the lap cars. You saw Ed Carpenter, I believe, is running in the last position at the moment. I don't know if we'll catch the back of the field before the first pit stop. You can see 3 minutes have gone by, excuse me, and we've run 10 laps of the race. So this is going to be a very, very quick race, assuming there are no yellows. And generally, yellows do not come out at Iowa Speedway. No, there's plenty of yellows at Iowa Speedway, but Pikes Peak in this game, generally not a lot of yellows. For whatever reason, the AI don't really crash all that much with each other. Generally, you have to be the one to bring out the yellow by driving badly. And knock on wood, we're not driving badly. We're just setting smooth, consistent laps and just trying to get this thing to the end. Obviously, we've still got 16 laps to the good on fuel. In fact, I bet I could lean this thing back. We're going to lean it all the way back to 1. No real reason to knock the track record down for no reason. So we're just going to lean it back to 1. We've got a huge lead over Kanaan. See how long we can stretch the fuel. And, you know, if we can stretch it, we might be able to lap the field a la what we did in NASCAR 15 a couple races ago. And win by complete domination. This is a beautiful track. There's nothing better in my mind than IndyCar racing on short ovals. Short, fairly flat ovals. Obviously, this track has some banking, but at the same time, it's not terribly high banked. I mean, this is what, you know, 17 degree banking, 20 degree banking. That's not too bad, you know, when you consider that, you know, 25, 30 degrees of banking IndyCar is sometimes raced on. We just keep rolling around. You can hear 2 seconds ahead of TK at the moment. And I think we're still pulling the gap out. It's weird because I think Kanaan was able to run like 183, and he was doing it in the race. But now we're down to a race pace of 179, and we're still gapping Kanaan. So I'm not sure exactly why their pace is so bad. But I'm already being able to see lappers on the horizon. So that's going to make things fairly interesting here in just a few laps. I did hear the tires squeal a little bit, so we are beginning to wear the tires just a bit. But this is definitely, like I said, a lot better than Texas. Texas was, that was a struggle bus race for sure, even despite the fact that I qualified on the outside of the front row. That was a lot of crashing and a lot of just sliding the car around. This time, the car feels very stable. Just so stable. And again, I think it's partly due to the less downforce. May also be the fact that, like Bob Jenkins said, we have less downforce on this track, or less power on this track. 100 less horsepower in the already fairly, by the admission of the drivers who drove them in period, underpowered IRL cars of the day. So it's pretty much like an Indy Lights race, really. As we're up to lap 20. About to approach the halfway mark of the race. But we're not quite there yet. We still got 10 laps to go on the fuel. So we'll be around lap 30 when we have to actually make a pit stop. And that'll put us with 26 laps to go. Meaning we can short fill the car. And then really go for it. In terms of lap time at the end of the race. I think we'll easily lap the field if this continues the way it does, or is continuing at the moment. We are catching Ed Carpenter, but not very fast, as you can tell. Of course, we are leaned as far as we can go on the motor. Just kind of conserving. No real reason to fight lap cars if we don't need to. So we're coming up pretty quickly. Ooh, as we get a little bit of an understeer coming out of turn 2. And now we'll start drafting with Ed Carpenter here in the PDM number 18. Big draft down the main straightaway. And oh, wow. That is not what we needed to do. Exactly what I didn't want to do. Good Lord, David, you idiot. Oh, I'm such a moron. And and TK has the lead. Oh boy, that was just an epic choke. An epic choke. But the tires are nice and warm, so we'll be able to drive around the outside side by side with Kanaan. And he's running the short way around. So now we're going to have to battle with Kanaan in the lap traffic, which is not exactly what I wanted to be doing with this race. And we clear Kanaan by just stuffing it in down the inside. It looks like DeFerrin has moved up into 3rd place, getting around Takagi. So, yeah, Jill DeFerrin, and he has actually moved around Kanaan for 2nd. So Jill DeFerrin is absolutely flying right now, and we are not. So this time we're gonna easily clear Carpenter. And we'll just cut him off at the pass there just to make sure he doesn't get any funny ideas. But DeFerrin is now, seems to be the guy who is going to be the challenge now, because he is flying. He must have turned the wick up And he's going to the inside. Is he going to be able to make this pass?
Car on your left side, inside,
He's
inside,
there.
Inside, still there, inside,
Oh boy.
still there,
And
clear.
there goes Jill DeFerrin. So now Jill DeFerrin has taken the lead. Oh boy. That, again, I'm not turning up the wick because it's not important at this point. Ooh,
Car outside,
ooh, that was a
still
bit
there,
close.
Still there,
And there's DeFerrin, and we clear
still
DeFerrin.
there, still there.
But he's looking.
Still there. Hit next lap, clear.
I'm being told to pit,
You've taken first place.
despite the fact that nobody else in the race has pitted yet, despite the fact that I have the car completely leaned down.
Your fuel is low. You should pit next lap. Come into the pits on your next lap. You are clear. Car in front is a back.
So am I going to peel off? No, I can still make it one more lap.
Inside,
As we keep DeFerrin behind. And the back markers are coming into the pits, but DeFerrin is not.
Your fuel is low. You should pit next lap. Come
So
into
it's
the
a
pits on
battle
your next
with
lap.
DeFerrin, and we're going to have to battle him into the pits, which is not particularly the most ideal situation in the world. In fact, I'm just going to let DeFerrin go.
You are clear.
I don't know what the speed limit is.
Watch your speed in the pit. Keep it under 60.
All right.
Car on your right side. You are clear.
Okay, so into the pits we go. We don't need to save the race. We do not need 56 laps of fuel. We're just going to go with 30, and here we go. I considered making a front wing adjustment as well, but I think we'll be all right. I'm going to run full rich as soon as we get back out of the pits. We need to set some fast times, break away from the draft, because I think that's what was really hurting us during the race there. Once we lost, we got caught behind DeFerrin, or got caught up with Carpenter, and then once DeFerrin caught us, he was flying. So as we wait for the game to take back over, and we did beat DeFerrin out. DeFerrin is behind us. Takagi has taken the lead, though. Did Takagi stretch the fuel? What is going on here?
You've taken second place.
Well, all right. We've fallen to third. How did that happen? So tires are cold. We're getting an understeer. And now DeFerrin is all over the back of us. There's Takagi coming out of the pit, so we'll pass Takagi. But it's Castro Neves that is leading the race.
Car on your left side, inside.
Wow, the car is badly understeering. Oh, and Kanan goes to the inside as well. I banged wheels with him. Just a terrible understeer. I'm not sure where that is coming from. Wow, I really should have added wing. That's for sure. I don't know why the tires aren't coming up to temperature as fast as they need to. But I would assume as soon as I can actually start running fast, I'll be able to get back up there. But goodness gracious. Castro Neves is leading this race by 3 seconds. What on earth is going on? I thought for sure I'd have this race won. But as it turns out, we're going to have to really fight for this thing. Well, it goes to show you the unpredictable nature of IndyCar racing.
You are 3.5 seconds behind the race.
Now it feels like the tires are starting to come in. It took quite a while for them to come in. But now that they're finally starting to get fairly heated up, it's time to go. We're in fuel mix 7, so as fast as it'll go, as much power as the engine can take. So now it's time to start lapping cars as we get behind Vitor Mira here to the inside.
You are clear.
And around him we go. So now we set in pursuit of Kanan. We've got 2 seconds to make up here on Castro Neves. And they are in heavy lap traffic. Now this is going to be touch and go here, because of course this is a lot of traffic to deal with. As we go down to the inside of Foyt, please be nice to me.
Car outside, still there.
And stuff it down the inside. Get Herta as well.
You are clear.
Or maybe that's Franchitti. That's Franchitti. Never mind. Not Herta. Those cars are remarkably similar. So right down next to the white line, I think we'll be able to get
You are
both of these guys. 2-for-1 deal at Kmart. And we get them.
Still there. Outside.
And I think Sarah Fisher, the lap car, is there as well, but now they're behind. I guess since I was passing a 7-Eleven car, I should have said 2-for-1 deal at 7-Eleven, but I wasn't that clever.
You are 0.2 of a second ahead of DeFarren.
And now we've got to make sure that Sarah Fisher doesn't get our draft. We need to start making up position here, as I see Elio up there, and he's behind a lapper. So as long as Elio gets held up long enough
You are 2.3
behind that lapped car, we just got to go. And we finally got turn 1 flat out. So the car is starting to really come to us. And now it's time to go. Castroneves gets around the lap car, which I believe is Alex Barron.
That was your best lap so
Yes, we
far.
just set our best lap of the race, of course, because we pretty much went flat out. I'm just feathering the throttle just a little bit in 1 and 2. I mean, just a minute amount. You probably couldn't measure it on a graph,
Car in front is
if
a
that makes
back
any
marker.
sense. But here we go. We are making big time moves here. Now, what I'm a little bit worried about is the fuel. I hope I don't waste too much fuel here. We got 17 laps of fuel. We're good at the moment, I believe. He says, as we drive around the outside of Alex Barron,
Inside,
and Barron finally falls back by the wayside. It looks like Buddy Lazier is up here with Felipe Giafoni, so I'm kind of hoping these guys held up
2.5 seconds ahead of
Elio
DeFarren.
Castroneves. Come on, buddy. I've bought a lot of your merchandise over the year, buddy. You got to help me. Let's see if Lazier can help me out here, and it looks like he is. We're getting to the inside of Castroneves. We almost got into Lazier there. In fact, I did make some contact with the gearbox of Lazier, but we're able to make the pass of Buddy. But this is some heavy, heavy traffic here. Guys trying to stay on the lead lap in case there is a yellow. I'm going to lean the car out just a little bit. Well, no, we don't really need to. We got 14 laps to go, and we're coming up to 10 laps to go. So it looks like we're going to be good on the fuel. I can lean it out if I need to, but at the moment, it doesn't look like we're going to need to do that. And now it's going to be a battle to just keep the lead.
Car in front is a back marker.
So we're not yet to 10 laps to go. So I'm going to start leading the car out. So we're back to fuel mix 4, just in case.
You are 1.2 seconds ahead of Castroneves.
That's an insurance policy at this point.
Car on your right side, outside, still there. You are clear.
As we get around Greg Ray, put him a lap down, and now we are 1.6 ahead
You are
of
1.9
Castroneves.
seconds ahead of Castroneves.
And 1.9 it says the spotter, so I've improved already.
Car in front is a
Lap
back
number
marker.
49. Coming up to make it 6 laps to go here. And yeah, we are gapping Castroneves significantly now. So all good in the hood right now. We can just get underneath Rice here without too much trouble,
Car on your right
which we're
side,
able to do.
clear.
And now a big group of lappers here. Gotta be oh so careful
Car in front
because
is
of
a
that
back marker.
particular instance. So we're just gonna kind of slide underneath, hopefully under Yasukawa.
Outside, still there.
Yasukawa, be nice to me.
Still there, still there, still
Wow, this is some heavy traffic
still
because
there,
these cars
still
are actually,
there,
we're actually coming around to put Ed Carpenter 2 laps down. That's why there's a bit of a backup here, because we've got three different sets of speed with the cars here. 3 wide to the inside
Still there, outside.
to make a lapping move, and we are able to do it. So we got around that group as well, but you can see the speed. The last lap speed was 176. That's 10 miles an hour slower than my fastest lap on the race, just kind of caused by the fact that we were in heavy traffic. That's what happens. So 4 laps to go. We've got 9 laps on the fuel. So right now, everything is working out the way it needs to. And that means Castroneves is going to have to work through all of that traffic that I just put him behind. So that's why we needed to be aggressive in the traffic. For that particular reason right there. Because now we are going to be able to pretty much control the pace here. I don't want to say cruise, but we're going to be able to control the pace. Working our way, hopefully, to a victory. As we round turn 3 and 4 for the third to last time, now the second to last time. And now we are 4 seconds to the good on Castroneves. So coming around for the white flag this time around.
4.1 seconds ahead of Castroneves.
And here we go.
This is the last lap.
The white is out. And we're going to crank the speed up here for the last lap. Flying finish. And we are going to take the victory at Pikes Peak International. What a great win.
Good work, buddy. We're all proud of you.
That was some fun, I have to tell you. So, it was me taking the victory over Elio Castroneves, Jill DeFerrin for a Penske 2-3 on the podium. Kanaan was 4th after that great duel at the beginning of the race. The championship leader, Scott Dixon, still holding strong in 5th place. Tora Takagi in 6th. Dan Weldon and Alan Jr. round out the top 10. Down through the rest of the field, you can see the guys who were laps down. Ed Carpenter finished 2 laps down in 25th position. So, that was IndyCar Series 2005. That was the Honda Indy 225 at Pikes Peak. I hope you enjoyed it. That was a fun race. I took the victory, and now we move on to the next race in the season. Hopefully, I can continue my momentum. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube, and we'll see you in the next video.